Welcome, everybody, to Great Crossing High School, Georgetown, Kentucky, for preseason basketball. And it's a good one. It's a boys' battle between two teams that are, well, if preseason forecasts are right, we'll see them maybe matched up at Rupp Arena come March. But a lot of basketball to be played between now and then. The preseason favorite from the 11th region, Great Crossing, going up against 13th region. Seems like perennial favorite now, at least the past 4 years, North Laurel, under the direction of Nate Valentine. And of course, their now senior star, Reed Shepard, just took a three-pointer from the right wing there. You may have seen him on camera. He is signed, sealed, and delivered to the University of Kentucky, part of that exciting 2023 class that Coach Cal has signed. I'm Cal Oakes, along with Keith Greiser. And Keith, this is going to be a good one. This is what we look forward to at any time of year, but it's kind of a good sneak peek at two of the better teams in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, what a great way to start the Thanksgiving weekend and get out of school today and come over here and watch Malachi Moreno and Trey Dawson, heralded people in the 11th region, go against the top player possibly in the state in Reed Shepard, and should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you look at the preseason rankings, that's a good point that we need to mention. Great Crossing, Malachi Moreno leading the Warhawks out of the locker room just now. Anywhere between 5th, 6th, 7th ranked in the state as only a sophomore. And this team will start 4 sophomores just as they started 4 freshmen last year. It'll be Malachi Moreno. You mentioned Vince Dawson III. I think still an underrated star. Anytime you look at these forecasts of who are the players to watch, whether it's in the region or the state, people seem to overlook Trey, but all he does is make big shots and big plays at the end of games, as we saw last year. He's going to be a D1 player as well, already with offers and looks from the mid-major level. And then you've got Janias Burrell, the point guard, going into his 3rd season at that position. Of course, some of these guys, age-wise, are juniors because of the COVID year. Malachi's a true sophomore, but Trey and Janias both in their 3rd year in the starting lineup. And then Gage Richardson, who I think is going to be a big factor this year. Having watched him at Warhawk Madness, he has grown to about 6'4". He dunks with ease, and that's not what you expect him to do. He's their spot-up shooter. But when you got 4 guys that are that physically strong, talented, experienced, you've got a lot of reasons to be optimistic if you're Coach Steve Page.
That's for sure. I think he does a great job of promoting his guys on social media, and I think that they have deserved every bit of the praise that they've been given. And I agree with you on Trey. I don't see how you can rank that kid 7th or 8th in the region, seeing all the games that we saw and what he was able to do last year. And just a mid-range pull-up that's smooth as silk and so much fun to watch. Gage, I agree. He was one that I wanted to point out tonight. Last year, he shot 46% from the 3, and that's just outstanding shooting. And I do know that, looking at what they lost this year, they did lose quite a bit of their 3-point shooting folks. And so, Scareman's gone and Carson Walls, who could light it up from the 3. So Gage is probably going to get a few more attempts this year. And if he can shoot at the clip of 40% or above, it's really going to keep things open in the paint for Malachi and for Trey to slash and dish in there. Just a lot of balance that comes from the talent that this group has.
3 other guys you really need to watch for the Warhawks. The first one is a transfer, and right now he's the only senior on the roster, DJ Blunt. They had another senior transfer, Trey Skaggs, who came in from Madison Central, who has left the team. So it is down to John DJ Blunt. He previously played at Bourbon County and also at Henry Clay. He's a lockdown defender. Anybody that went to that tournament in Shelbyville back in June really saw the best of DJ Blunt. He can get after it and make you look bad if you're a ball handler, and leads to a lot of easy buckets in the other direction. And then, again, in that improvement vein, 2 guys I think you're going to see a big jump out of this year are the junior Jeremiah Godfrey, who can just jump out of the gym, and he's probably going to be a regular in that starting lineup. And then Christian Martin, that little left-handed runner, floater, and he also plays good defense and just makes things happen. Kind of a clutch performer that gets overlooked, but I think you're going to see his minutes and his contributions go up this year.
Yeah, we saw spurts of that last year. They had different games between the 2 of them where they would have a highlight reel for a few minutes. But I think Coach is wanting them this year to sustain that effort, be solid contributors all the time, and I think they're ready to step into those roles for sure.
The supporting cast for Reed Shepherd looks a little different for North Laurel. They did get a key transfer in Gavin Chadwell, a junior who has come in and will make an impact for sure. But a lot of the guys he looked to graduated. So we'll see a different look from the Jaguars if you tuned in last year when they played Scott County and won pretty handily at Scott County in that one. And that was a night where Reed didn't really shoot the ball that well, but he did a lot of other things to distribute.
Yeah, they returned Ryan Davidson, who averaged 20 and 7 last year.
Not bad in his own right.
Not bad.
Right.
I think he's benefiting from his teammate.
Your national anthem, everybody. It kind of snuck up on us. These 6 o'clock starts sneak up on me in general, I got to tell you. But the thing about these KHS AA preseason events is they are strictly timed. You've got 3 hours to get all the basketball in, and that's the reason the varsity is first tonight. You'll see. You stick around, watch some of the JV and freshman action, but they've got till 9 o'clock to get this whole show in the books. So that's a big part of pushing things along. They are introducing the North Laurel starting lineup. Reed Shepherd, of course, the senior. You've got Ryan Davidson, who was mentioned. Keith mentioned his 20 and 7 last year. Beneficiary of a lot of those drives and dishes to the middle. Brody Brock, he is a junior guard. Colton Rawlings is a sophomore guard. And then we mentioned Gavin Chadwell, transferred into the program this year from farther down in the mountains up to North Laurel. He is a junior. So a fairly young starting lineup with the exception of the two senior standouts, Davidson and Shepherd.
Brody Brock averaged 8 a game last year for him, and then Gavin Chadwell averaged 13 a game for Knox Central last year. Big, strong kid.
Yeah, he will be an enforcer in the middle for them. They will certainly look to bang the ball inside, and that will leave some of their three-point shooters open, as we often saw last year. I think back to, I've been watching this North Laurel team since Reed was a freshman. They played against Great Crossing over in an event at Woodford County. It was a pretty solid game. That was team one for the Warhawks, and Great Crossing hung with them for about 3 quarters, and then things slipped away. First meeting since then. You'll see Trey Dawson, Janias Burrell, Gage Richardson, Jeremiah Godfrey, and Malachi Marino. Godfrey is a junior. The rest are sophomores. As we said, only one senior, DJ Blunt, will be coming off the bench, probably one of the first players or two into that mix for Coach Steve Page, who is in his 4th season. Warhawks reached the 11th region semifinals last year before falling to Henry Clay. They won their initial 41st district title in their 3rd try. North Laurel ranked, I believe it was 5 or 6 by the Courier Journal coming into the season. Great Crossing ranked 7. The Warhawks coming off a trip to Louisville Western, who was ranked 8th in that top 10. Western really handled Great Crossing, and I think Steve Page wants these tests early. That was a physical team that really got after it. This is a challenge in a different way, but one that's no less threatening.
Well, what I heard about the Western game was that they were playing against grown men. Like the Western guys had humongous bodies, 6'2" to 6'5", and broad-shouldered guys. And North Laurel has some broad-shouldered guys out here to start off. They're impressive with their weight program and coming out here just stout. Even Reed looks like he's put on some shoulder mass.
I would characterize Western as thick and quick, to be sure, and that was the factor there. They scored it by quarters. Western kind of pulled away in the second half, the first half or so. was a fairly close battle. North Laurel wins the tap, and Shepard's going to take a deep three and drain it from the top right off the bat.
That was with Malachi's hand right in his face.
Shepard puts the Jags on top. Now a little token pressure. Dawson finds Marino in the corner. Back to an open Richardson. In and out. Rebound Dawson strong. Up with it and in. And Trey gets the first offensive putback of many this season, I'm sure. 3-2.
Callie's got a different shade of pink shoes on this year. They're a little lighter.
They are. Got the Miami Vice pink going there, I think. A little bit of Gage has the same color on his. Janias with the highlighter. The yellow highlighter. To the foul line, the drive, the floater is good from Brody Brock. 5-2 North Laurel, just over a minute into this one. Burrell, Richardson playing pass, Gage across the timeline. Burrell will set it up. Jags 2 for 2 to start this one. Warhawks foul line. Dawson tried to force it in. Shepard deflected it away and intercepted by Brock. Back come the Jaguars. Shepard with it, guarded by Godfrey, who's long at 6'6", 6'7". Finds the open man on the left wing. Swish for Colton Rawlings. And just like that, 8-2. North Laurel 3 for 3 out of the gate. Not having any problem with the different look here in the shooting background at Great Crossing. Richardson driving dish, bounce pass to Marino, tried to go up with it and traveled. Gavin Chadwell kind of forced that miscue, just standing in the way, and that's a big body even for Marino at 6'11" to get around. Shepard, quick drive, now stops, kicks it out, open three again. Short this time, Shepard fights for the rebound. You're right, he has bulked up significantly. Jags will reset it with Shepard, this time guarded by Dawson. Spin around Godfrey and leaving it short. And now a scramble goes to Marino. Burrell up with it. Hawks trail 8-2 early. Dawson drives and misses the runner. Shepard comes down with it off the rim. Baseline drive, bounce pass. Double team there, but turning around, missing Chadwell. Partially blocked by Godfrey on the run. Richardson finds Dawson, and it's good, 8-4. Trey has all 4 points, but they don't get back on defense. Marino blocks it off the backboard, however. Richardson up with it, deflected, fortunately into Godfrey's hands. Now he'll reset it to Burrell. Fast-moving first quarter, 4:45 remaining, 8-4 North Laurel. That is deflected, and Shepard can't save it. Yes, he can. He will find what a beautiful pass. Left it off the backboard to Davidson. And Colton Rawlings, I don't think he intended to do that. He was going for the layup, but it ended up being an assist, didn't it?
Amazing
10-4.
Save. That was a heck of a save.
That's just a D1 play by Shepard flying into his own bench, avoiding stepping over the line there into the scorer's table. Burrell at the foul line extended, pops, good. 10-6, as both teams have heated up early a little bit. Jags with the lead and the ball. Colton Rawlings with it, finds Davidson up top. Now Shepard. Shepard guarded by Dawson, star against star there, driving dish, Chadwell on the baseline, that's too easy. All 5 starters have scored for the Jags in just over 4 minutes, 12-6 North Laurel. Burrell to Dawson. They've got Chadwell on Marino to try to neutralize him. Godfrey will spin it down in the low post, put up a hook that's no good, rebounded by guess who? Reed Shepard on the run now. Dawson catches up with him. He'll skip it across to the right corner for another 3. Swish, 15-6. And that is Brody Brock again. He's the 3rd different 3-point getter in this early run for the Jags. They're up 9. Burrell with a step back three, short. Rebound came down to Marino momentarily, got knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with the Hawks, 2:50 to go. Checking in now, DJ Blunt for the Warhawks. Chase Keene listed as a center for North Laurel, and they'll put him immediately on Marino as coming to the bench is Chadwell for a breather and a drink. Blunt finds Richardson. Richardson into Marino, tied up there by Shepard. What are they going to get?
Got to reach in, looks
Going to
like.
get Reed Shepard on the foul, his first foul of the game, 5 minutes and 13 seconds in. We have 2:47 remaining in this opening period. Red hot North Laurel wearing the blue, leading at 15-6. Dawson will inbound from the baseline. Finds Richardson, left corner three, in and out. A rebound comes down to the Jags and Chase Keene. Shepard with another beautiful look down court in traffic, though, and knocked out of his hands. It's Richardson. Blunt comes away with it. They'll play pass. Blunt finds Dawson. Dawson looks into Marino. Marino not on the board yet. He'll get it here. Beautiful touch from short range. 15-8.
Nice under control move. Turnaround jumper, squared himself up nicely. That's a mature compared to last year. He would have shot that off balance.
It's a Marino family trait, the body control. His brother Michael had it down there, and he has developed it quickly. He has Malachi. We've got a foul on the Warhawks, their first. That'll be on Jeremiah Godfrey. And it will be a shooting foul. Jags will go to the line. Number 24 is Ryan Davidson, the senior forward, 20 points a game last year. And he's on the board here. He has 3. Jags have the Hawks doubled up. 2:08 to go first quarter, 16-8. They've hit 3 from long range, 4 from, it is 3, sorry. Davidson will hit a pair from the line to make it 17-8. Marino inbounds to Blunt. Dawson guarded by Shepard. Making it difficult to get it across the line. Not with heavy pressure, but just making the Warhawks think a little bit. Richardson and Blunt swapping places. Blunt will run the offense right now with Burrell on the sideline. Dawson bounced pass into Godfrey. Couldn't keep the handle on it, but Marino, nice work, nice hands, nice feet to save it. And back to Blunt for the reset. Richardson into Marino. Marino doubled, knocked out of his hands on the run of the Jaguars. Taking it by himself and leaving it short is Davidson. And the rebound will come down to Gray Crossing and a reach-in foul on the Jags. Chadwell back in for North Laurel.
Cal Nate Valentine, the coach at North Laurel, he used to coach at LCA.
Yes,
prior
sir.
to that, he was an assistant at Transy. And they've every place he's been, they've run this soft 2-2-1, and then they can turn it up. Right now, they'll just wait for you to make a mistake. But they can turn it up into a heated press at any time if they get to the point where they need one.
They slowed down an all-time great Scott County team to about 40 points. I think it was 41-40 in the final, in the 11th region final a few years back. There's a miss and a rebound that bounces long to Kyler Elza, who just checked in for the Jaguars. Jaguars out of the 13th region, defending champs. Shepard, guarded by Dawson and Blunt, gets rid of it. They find Elza. Elza spins it back to Shepard. Blunt in his grill, under a minute now. 45 seconds to play opening period. They send 2 at Shepard again. Martin this time with Blunt. Inside, outside, Shepard won't miss that one. Second one he's hit from up top, 20-8. The Jaguars are legit. And right now, Warhawks looking like a team with 4 sophomores, good as they may be, in the starting lineup. Dawson, Martin, 15 seconds. Almost threw that away. Dawson kept it out of Shepard's hands. They'll play for one shot, 5 seconds now. They've got to get it in a hurry. Dawson for 3, blocked, and the rebound comes down to Chadwell. Shepard got a hand on it. First quarter was all North Laurel, 20-8.
Yeah, North Laurel just was the more aggressive team that quarter. I felt like they came out and established some defensive prowess, and they played physical inside and out. Their press kind of set the pace for the game, so I felt like they controlled it all. They made some shots that were open. That Reed created some opportunities for his teammates, but they also made some shots that were contested. And Reed made two himself from pretty deep at the top of the key with a hand up in his face. But even like Colton Rawlings, who didn't necessarily have a stat line last year, knocked down a couple, and then Brody Brock, a sweet left-handed jumper, and hit one from the corner with a guy right in his face. And so they're just playing with a lot of confidence right now. It's a great test, great scrimmage for Great Crossing to have here early in the season, especially when you get all that praise statewide and nationwide. It's good to be humbled, and it's good to have to go out and really set a defensive tone. So I don't think Steve Page could ask for a better opportunity than what he's going on right here.
No, he has built up this schedule for a reason and for a purpose. He wants to put this team through the paces. As we said, they played Western already. This is their second top 10 preseason opponent. And then down the road, first week of the regular season, they'll have Covcath and Ashland both in the top 10 as well. So you're talking about 5 top 10 teams when you factor in Great Crossing as the 5th, playing against the other 4 right out of the chute. They will reset the scoreboard. As we mentioned, they like to do that for these games. So if you're following along, it probably resets at the bottom of your screen as well. If you're listening on newsgraphic.com, thanks for joining us. Cal Oaks along with Keith Greiser. Warhawks struggling early, but Marino finds Richardson for a 3 that's long. Rebound comes down to the Jaguars. Number 5 is Colton Rawlings. 20-8 was the first quarter score in favor of the Jags. Reed Shepard has 5 points. He's guarded by Marino. The long arms of Malachi Marino, all 6'11" of them. A drive and a dish, a drop off, blocked by Godfrey. Godfrey will get the tie up on Chadwell, and the arrow will face North Laurel's way.
And those guys were up above rim level when that contact happened. That was an athletic play by both of them.
You've got 4 of the 5 starters at the very least that can dunk on this Great Crossing team. So they're going to be playing the game above the rim an awful lot. And given the competition they'll be seeing, it'll be both ways. Inbound from Shepard. Davidson kicks it over to the corner, now gets it back.
Great Crossing has picked up their pressure this quarter, looks like. And total denial on Reed. They got Trey Dawson total denial on him.
We're going to see how North Laurel handles that. It's going to be a 3-point opportunity for Davidson. The thing I like about the Jags, all 5 of their guys can handle the ball.
And they're good passers. They pass the ball away from the defense. We've had a couple opportunities where if they had thrown it just a few inches off, we were in position to steal the ball. But they put the passes away from the defense like you're supposed to.
Can't complete the 3-point play, can Davidson. Rebound comes down to Richardson. 2-0 in this period, 22-8 overall. Christian Martin with it. Richardson tried to force it into Marino, deflected by Chadwell, picked up on the hop by Brock, who will take it in for the easy 2.
And that was an example of what I'm talking about. Like North Laurel puts a pass in the spot where Gage threw it just a little bit toward the defense, and it ended up being stolen. If you throw that ball away from the defense, Malachi probably gets to spin and dunk it.
They're going to get North Laurel on the little bump there. It's Colton Rawlings' first foul, team's 3rd. They are counting the fouls, I guess, for the half. Some humble pie early for Great Crossing. Richardson for a 3 to try to respond. Long rebound is going to come down. Just a hustle play there for the Jags, as taking it in for, again, an uncontested layup is Brody Brock. 6-0 in the second quarter. It's an 18-point disparity overall in the first 10 minutes of this one. Martin, that left-handed 3 is true. I like that guy taking a few more shots this year. I said it in the pregame, and I'll say it again.
I saw on the stat line last year, he didn't hit a 3 in a game last year, so it's good to see because I know he can shoot it.
He was a mid-range guy, but as you can see, the range has extended.
Good to see.
There's another three from North Laurel that's off the mark. Marino tipped it to Burrell. Burrell looks ahead to Martin. Martin will back it down. Burrell finds Richardson, step inside the arc, misses it, bonks it off the rim. Dawson, strong rebound, up again and one. Dawson with a chance to tie up this period. Second time tonight, he scored off the offensive carom. 5:28 to play in the first half.
That was a man's rebound right there. He went over top of a man and got it and then stuck it in while people hanging on his arms. Good to see him play strong.
DJ Blunt checks in for Gage Richardson. Yeah, that's the stuff that Trey needs to continue to do to improve his game for this level and the next as he rolls in the free throw for the traditional three-point play to even this period at 6. So a quick response from GC after giving up the first 6 points. Shepard doubled again. That's always going to leave somebody open. That's a long three that's missed off the back of the rim, and a rebound for Blunt. Quick ball movement by the Warhawks. Martin traveled. A little too quick there as he took it inside, thought better of it, tried to kick it out, but too late.
Probably had a chance to go on and score there.
I think so.
They kind of played him as a passer. He could have gone on one more step and probably got that shot off.
5:05 remaining in the second quarter of this four-quarter scrimmage with regular clock stoppages. As we said, they reset the scoreboard. 6-6 in this period.
I don't have a 21 for North Laurel on my roster.
Cole Jervis. That's why I'm glad I went down to the scores table. I know sometimes these preseason rosters, I know there's already been a change that we mentioned for Great Crossing. And same is true for North Laurel. Cole Jervis is a sophomore. He will get the ball here on the kick. He's guarded closely by Blunt, has to get rid of it, nearly threw it away. Good ball handling there, though, by Brock to keep the possession alive. Long half-court set for the Jaguars. And a drive uncontested again. Reversing it off the glass is Davidson. He has 8. Dawson trying to go for 8. Missed that one from close range. Rebound to Davidson. Lost out of bounds, but they're going to say knocked out of bounds by Burrell. He's not sure. It will stay with the visitors in blue from down in London.
They're not afraid to take their time to get the shot they want.
No, and they
make you play defense for a long time until you break down.
There's a travel by Davidson. He was trying to find Brock for one of those aforementioned shots, but it's a turnover.
Davidson shot 45% from the 3 last year. His form on his jumper would not lead me to believe that. But
no,
he
has
down.
A big man's form, but it goes in. It's the game we're playing now at all levels of basketball. The big guys have to be able to step out and shoot threes. There is a long three from Burrell that's left short. Hustling for the rebound, though, is Christian Martin, and he'll throw it off of the body of Jervis and keep it for the Warhawks. Nice hustle play by number 13. Godfrey checks back in. Burrell will sit down. That'll leave you with Blunt and Martin in the backcourt. Blunt will inbound. Marino calls out Dawson. Now Dawson will drive or threaten to. Marino gets his body in the way, and Shepard gets his in the way and blocks the shot. Back the other way comes Reed and the Jaguars. He is doubled again, but he finds the open man. Marino with the swat off the backboard and into his own hands, and finds Blunt to go the other way. DJ floater. Off the rim, no good. Godfrey fighting for the rebound. Ball's on the floor. Diving after it is Trey Dawson. It'll be a held ball situation. It will stay with Great Crossing. 3:04 to play second quarter. Warhawks down 2 in this period as the Jags have cooled down a little bit. Some of that is due to pretty good defense. Dawson on the drive, the off balance, leaning layup. He has 5 of the 8 in this quarter, but just like they've done multiple times tonight, the Jaguars getting back quickly for an easy layup. Gavin Chadwell.
Great curl by Vince off of the baseline out of bounds play, and really strong finish, but then before you can blink, Reed's advanced the ball up the floor for a layup.
Godfrey with it. Wanted to bounce it into Marino. That got cut off. Now he's directing traffic to Blunt. Blunt will reset up top. North Laurel making it hard for the Warhawks to find their main men, Dawson and Marino. We've got a timeout on the floor called by Steve Page. 2:20 to play, second quarter. North Laurel up 10-8 in this period. He picked up the first quarter by a 20-8 margin, so that's 30-16 for the game if you're not scoring at home.
I think when Coach Page watches this film, he's going to be able to point out some things like we're not screening a person. We're just going to an area and pretending like we're going to screen. And those North Laurel guys are not being inhibited by our screens. They tried to do a little cross screen for Malachi that time, and it didn't even phase Chadwell, and he was able to then deflect the pass out of bounds.
Second and final preseason exhibition for these Warhawks. A week from tonight, they'll be down in Nicholasville. They'll play West Jessamine. Scott County will play East Jessamine the same evening on Tuesday, November the 29th. Our first game, regular season game here on the network, will be Monday right back here on the 28th. As it's the Battle of the Birds for the girls, the Great Crossing girls. It's the debut for Matt Walls, 2007 hero of Scott County's state title run. He is taking over that program. He's got 3 4-year starters. He'll be going up against a young by comparison Scott County team, coached as always by Steve Helton in his 23rd season. As he says he hates to use the word rebuilding, but they are definitely reloading. It's a couple of seniors on that club, but very much a young group. We'll see what they have against the more experienced Lady Warhawks Monday night, 7:30, excuse me. Blunt will inbound to Marino. Take it back. Finds Martin. Martin looks inside to Godfrey. Godfrey post up, spin, traffic. Tips it back up and in himself. Beautiful play there by Jeremiah after he got double teamed on the low block. 10-10.
Really quick bounce to get back up and get that tip in.
Good instincts, good hands.
Springs in the legs, too.
That, too. That doesn't hurt. The drive, the dish. Davidson to Chadwell. They'll kick it out. Three's not open, so they'll drive it and kick it out again. Foul line. They'll just keep playing pass with the Jags. This is what they do. Shepard guarded closely by Dawson right now. Hasn't touched it much on this possession. Now he gets it back in the corner. That's a tough spot. Marino will come over to help. Cross-court pass, dangerous, but he found his man. There's the open three, but instead the drive, the block, and it comes down to Blunt. GC with a chance to go up in this period. Dawson thinks about a three. Now he'll think better of it and find Blunt. Blunt tried to bounce it into Godfrey, deflected, but Martin recovered. Now Blunt again, finds Dawson. Dawson with the head fakes, the foot fakes, the ball fakes. And finally they will call a foul on the Jags away from the ball. 56.7 seconds left. That's on Gavin Chadwell, his second of the half. It's the fifth on the team. Warhawks have only been whistled twice. Blunt, the only senior on this roster, inbounds to Dawson for the layup. The Warhawks go on top in this period. Dawson with 11 points out of the 20 that Great Crossings had in this first half.
Good screen by Malachi that time. Used his rear end to clear out of space.
Shepard, left elbow, and there is a foul. As he missed the fadeaway, but will go to the line. Godfrey gets called for his second. Shepard will make the first free throw. And the second as well. He has 8. His team is tied up in this second period.
Long lineup out here right now for Great Crossing.
You've got Dawson, Marino,
6'6",
Godfrey.
6'10", yeah.
You had Richardson out there as a 6'4" guard. That would stretch it even more. Blunt's pretty wiry, plays taller than his height. Martin bounces it into Marino, no doubt about his side for the size, and he'll go for the and one, as that was just too easy for the Warhawks.
Great entry pass right there. Led him to the goal, and then Malachi went up really strong against these wide-shouldered North Laurel guys. That's a great take. There was no doubt that one was going in.
We'll see about Malachi's free throw form. He has been streaky. He will been the kind of player that'll make a few and then struggle for a while. Makes this one, though. Beautiful touch there.
And the form was good last year.
It just didn't want to go down sometimes.
Glad to see it.
That's just repetition is all that is, and he will get it, and it will make him even more of a weapon going down the stretch in his high school career. This is the start of only the sophomore year, as the Jags almost threw it away, but it was tipped by the Warhawks. They'll have 10.7 seconds to get something done here at the end of the half. Shepard finds a man open in the corner. It's Davidson, reverse layup in and out, rebound. Marino, 4 seconds, 3-2. Blunt will push it across the timeline. It gets knocked out of his hands by Shepard, and a little over a tick remaining for a catch and shoot.
The length definitely bothered Davidson on that take to the basket that time. He adjusted, tried to go to the reverse layup, and off balance. Oh, good play.
Dawson, turnaround three,
yes,
swoosh. Trey Dawson. And the Warhawks win that period 18-12. That's a nice bounce back.
That's a good response. They played much harder that second quarter than they did the first quarter. Great to see.
32-26 is your score. So a three-point play by Marino and a turnaround three to beat the horn for Dawson in the final 15 seconds.
A good half for the Warhawks. I think that they responded well to that original run that North Laurel came out of the gates really firing. And for Great Crossing to bounce back like that is a good sign for Steve Page that, you want your team to have a little bow in their neck. They get punched, that they're ready to punch back. And eventually they'll be the ones that punch first. But it's good to see them respond in the way that they did. Some interesting tidbits from around the gym. We got Brandon Salzman is in the house. And
I've heard there's some dignitaries here, rumored to be.
Some Lexington Catholic kids are here to watch the game. I want to give a shout out to two of the moms. When I walked in, I saw Sarah Moreno was at the concession stand selling some hot dogs, working hard. And then I see Stacy Reed, who is Reed Shepard's mom, down next to the bench, keeping the stats for them. That probably keeps her from screaming all the time. So, but it's good to see the moms. Shout out to the moms of the high-profile guys doing some work and keeping things going here for their boys as we watch this great preseason scrimmage.
It's the way to teach your kids the servant mentality and how to stay humble, right?
Definitely so.
It runs in the genes there. We'd expect nothing less from either of those kids, and it's just great to see good things happen for good people. Reed is going to have his shot at UK, and Malachi is going to have his choice of countless Power 5 offers when all is said and done. For some first half stats, they've been brought up to us. Shepard with 8 points. Actually, Brody Brock led the Jaguars with 9. Ryan Davidson with 8 as well. Gavin Chadwell 4. Colton Rawlings 3. That's the total of 32. 14 big ones for Trey Dawson, 6 for 10 from the field to go along with 5 for Malachi Marino. Only took 2 shots, but made both of them, including the three-point play at the end. 3 for Christian Martin. That came in the form of a 3. Godfrey with 2 and Burrell with 2 for the total of 26. Jags shot 50%, 12 for 24. Warhawks heated up to 42.3%, 11 for 26. 6 turnovers, Great Crossing, 3 for North Laurel. Rebounds 16-13 in favor of the Warhawks. That's a big stat because with their size, Great Crossing has to win that battle in every game, I would think. There's just no excuse not to.
But I'm surprised that that's what it was. It didn't feel like they got that many rebounds.
No, it didn't. I think that came late, too, in the half.
But that is a good stat. And it's part of bow in their neck. It's standing up to the guys that are trying to push them around. All kinds of good things from that stat sheet that you just read. Like
Shepard with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. So doing all the things other than scoring. His shots have been a little limited. He's 2 for 2 from the field, both threes, and 2 for 2 from the line.
Well, and he got fouled on that fadeaway. That's the only other shot that he took. But he's really looking to distribute the ball. And from early, if he gets a rebound on the defensive end, he's looking to push the ball up the floor and catch the defense sleeping, trying to catch the Warhawks sleeping in transition, and has done it a couple times. But we've really picked up the intensity and allowed that to happen late in that second quarter.
So a 6-point game when you put the numbers together, and as you said, after a slow start, that's what you want to see from a young team, is that ability to bounce back and settle in and find their rhythm, which the Warhawks have. With a lot of in and out, been a lot of he's used a rotation of 7 or 8 guys, but it's been pretty fluid from Coach Steve Page, keeping some fresh feet on the floor at all times.
And they've needed to be fresh. They've tried to completely deny Reed all over the floor, and then they've trapped ball screens, which is, it's against North Laurel, who's not going to shoot a quick shot. You're having to play 25, 30 seconds of defense. That's tiring. And so kudos to the Warhawks for their stamina and for the intensity in that second quarter. People were just plowing through. It'll be interesting to see how their energy holds up for this second half, if they can sustain that effort that they showed in the second quarter.
Been some good basketball lately, aside from the high school level. We would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge, since no less an authority than ESPN had it as number 1 on Friday night, Cooper Robb's beyond half-court prayer for EKU to defeat Georgia State. That was, I want to say I was surprised, but I'm not. I've just seen that guy be clutch at every level in every sport. Just nothing surprises me anymore.
I was watching something else on my big television and had the EKU game on my phone in my lap. And I started screaming, and my wife thought something had gone wrong.
I've done that to my wife before, too.
A shot.
Did that when Great Crossing beat Madison Central in the soccer game last year in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "What's going on? What? I'm like, no, really, we're fine.
Right.
House is not on fire."
And a great lesson from Cooper. It wasn't a minute before that. EKU's up 1. He misses the front end of a 1-and-1. And then the other team goes down and scores. It'd be easy to tuck your head, but that's not the kind of guy Cooper Robb is. And so when he got the opportunity, hit that 60-footer, got the win, is great stuff.
And the very next night, EKU, they played 3 in a row down in that tournament. They played NC Asheville on Saturday, a team that was undefeated coming in, and Michael Marino scored his 1,000th career point. He's the 37th Colonel to do so. I believe he's the first since Nick Mayo to do it all at EKU without transferring in from somewhere else. And there's something to be said for that in this day and age, to do all your business at one school. Michael just starting what is essentially his junior year, even though he's in his 4th year as a starter. With the COVID situation, he's going to get a bonus season. And he's a guy that looks like he's going to take full advantage of it. I think he's the healthiest he's been since his junior year of high school, for one thing.
Yeah, that helps. When you feel good, everything's better. His shot looks so good right now. He can pull from anywhere, deep range. And even all his press releases after he scored his 1,000th point, he's thanking his teammates, he's thanking his coaches. The humble guy that, I love Michael Moreno, and if the world had more Michael Morenos, it would be a better place.
His coach A.W. Hamilton says Michael could run for governor. I say I've told him he could at the very least run for mayor in this town and win hands down. I'm pretty sure he's just that kind of person that no matter what age you are, he makes you a better person by being around him.
Yeah,
and it's special. It's rewarding when kids like that, young adults like that, can do good things and be rewarded with the stuff that he has been able to achieve in his career. So kudos to both Coop and Mike for all that they accomplish and will continue to accomplish. They play Brescia tomorrow night at home on the eve of Thanksgiving. And as we said, high school season will be kicking off, and it kicks off in a hurry. We've got the Jersey Mike's Classic here a week from Saturday. That'll feature Scott County in a 5:45 game. I forget who they're playing, but I know Great Crossing has Ashland at 7:30, and Ashland's a program that's in some state of flux right now with a new coach. So we'll see what they have. They've been strong the past 2 or 3 years and have another top 10 preseason club coming in. And then the very next Tuesday, 5 nights, 5 days, well, 5 nights and 1 day, Saturday. That'll be the Billy Hicks Classic presented by Bluegrass Orthopedics, formerly known as the Toyota Classic. We have it right off the bat now in the month of December, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. It's grown to a full 8-team tournament for the girls, full 8-team tournament for the boys. As always, it will start, I believe the girls have Tuesday quarterfinals and Thursday semifinals. Boys go Wednesday, Friday. They'll utilize both Great Crossing and Scott County gyms for 6 and 7:30 starts. And then Saturday, late afternoon, the title game will be over at Scott County. And with any luck, it'll be a battle of the birds.
Fun stuff. That's good stuff coming up. If you have never splurged for the hospitality room pass at the Toyota Classic, I would encourage you to do that this year. It is so worth it.
The Classic falls between my birthday and Christmas, and that pass being free is like the greatest gift I could possibly get during that season. It is unbelievable. Getting ready for second half action as North Laurel won by 6 when you add up the first half numbers. But if you weren't here and are just joining us, Great Crossing had a nice run in the second quarter. They got down 6-0 as the scoreboard goes out here completely. We've seen that too many times over the past few years. They went on an 18-6 run to get within 6 overall. We'll have the varsity game for you. If you stick around on the network, you'll just hear the ambient sound, but it will be some JV and freshmen in action from 7:30 on. Or if you want to meet me over at Davis Reed Alumni Gym, the Georgetown men will be playing Cumberland's at 7:30, and that's where I'm headed after this.
Man, they need a bounce-back game over there. The Tigers took one on the chin the other day.
Coach Briggs and I had a colorful conversation after that one, and he was not happy with his team, will suffice it to say. And they will be, I think you'll see a much different look from the Tigers tonight as they will look to bounce back. Thomas More has just been the Achilles heel for them. That's 7 out of 10 since they joined the conference, and nobody's shedding any tears that they're leaving after this year, at least on the Georgetown side of things, men or women. Second half action underway. Shepard guarded by Godfrey gets rid of it. Bounce pass, Shepard floater off the glass. Pretty. Backdoor cut, and just flicked it off the window.
Really nice set play. They knew they were going to be denying Reed and then take advantage of it with a backdoor.
I always feel like good teams score out of the half, score out of bounds situations, timeouts. There's an example of North Laurel doing so. Dawson 3 from the corner. It's good. He is on fire tonight.
Man, his jumper looks really smooth.
7 for 11 from the field, and 2 of those misses he grabbed and put them back up for buckets. 3-2 in this period. Warhawks within 5 overall, 34-29. Shepard guarded by Godfrey finds Davidson, who gets it back up top, guarded by Dawson. Godfrey shadowing Shepard. As we said, they let him only take 2 shots in the first half. He made them both, got to the line and made both of those as well. Little forearm shiver there to get Richardson off balance, but then stolen by Godfrey. Godfrey had it knocked out of his hands by Shepard. Now a 2-on-1, Davidson to Shepard. Those guys have been doing that since they were probably 4 years old. Shepard lays it in.
His basketball IQ, they talk about it. You watch the AAU games that are on ESPN and they talk about it, but to see it in action, the anticipation he has for what you're getting ready to do next as an offensive player, it's pretty impressive.
Marino bonks the baseline jumper, but Dawson strong with the rebound. Now bounces it to Godfrey. Dawson gets the kick for 3 again, and why not?
Pure.
Trey with the tray. His third in very short order. He ended the first half with one. He hits his first two here coming out of the locker room.
You know, last year he always wanted to take one dribble inside the three-point line, it seemed like, before he looked comfortable.
Drive and dish from Shepard, blocked by Marino.
No soup.
Chadwell took the shot. Marino said, not here, son. There's a kick out for three. Off the rim, no good. Ball floating around into the hands of Godfrey.
Nice job blocking out that time. Several of them, but especially Gage.
Warhawks only down 4 overall with the ball. They won the second quarter. They're leading the third. Richardson for three. No. A rebound comes down to Shepard. No, I'm sorry, Davidson. They look a little bit alike from up here.
Mm-hmm.
Shepard's hair a little shorter. Davidson dribbles around, gets it blocked on the drive by Marino. Richardson with the rebound, throws it off of Shepard, trying to get it to Dawson. I'd be trying to get it to Dawson too right now.
Yes.
Shepard took kind of a hard crash there, gets up, hands the ball to the official. 5:23 to play. Third quarter. Dawson. Shepard on him, but he'll drive around him. Up and under, no good. Shepard gets the rebound. I think it got partially blocked as well. Maybe completely blocked.
Yeah, I think Reed got the block.
Jags with a chance to pull even or go ahead here in the third quarter. Shepard top of the key, a little too strong. Strong rebound though for the Jags. And they'll kick it back out. Shepard guarded by Godfrey as he has been for much of the evening. The long arms of Jeremiah Godfrey causing some difficulty for him as far as trying to get open and take shots. He will drive around them though and go up and under. He's got 6 this quarter, 14 on the night. Dawson has 20 to lead all scorers. This quarter is tied at 6. Richardson dumps it inside to Dawson. No good as he was guarded again by Shepard. He plays defense too, and he'll take it the length of the floor and one. Reed Shepard, ladies and gentlemen. All 8 points in this half. It's been the Shepard show for the Jags. Checking in for North Laurel, number 30, and I don't see a number 30 on my roster.
No, I don't have one on mine either.
Goody. Shepard can't make the free throw. Marino with the rebound. Richardson. Burrell. Drive. Floater. No.
Slipped.
Back rim, no good. Marino reaching for the rebound. Can't get his hands on it. It will stay with the Warhawks, though, as Davidson came over to contest, and it went off of his leg or hand.
Warhawks came out of the locker room battling again. They're contesting on loose balls, rebounds, playing with a little more determination.
Richardson, the right-handed floater to tie up the period.
He's had some open looks and just hadn't gotten him to fall. Maybe that'll get him rolling.
His first 2 points, sometimes I like that. Get in there and get yourself a 2.
Yes.
Even though you're accustomed to being the 3-point designated guy. Shepard drives it on Godfrey. Now kicks it to the left corner for a 3-point attempt that is true.
Good shot. Yeah, I think all of us who have watched Gage grow up know he can do more than just shoot threes. He's a good player all around.
Colton Rawlings with the 3 to put North Laurel back on top this period. Little head fake by Richardson and the drive and one. A little one-handed runner from short range again. And as you said, sometimes you get yourself in a rhythm with that first bucket, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one come in short order. Gage, pretty good free throw shooter, knocks that one down. He's got 5 this quarter. Blunt into the game. First time we've seen him this half. A lot of minutes in the first 2 periods. 43-37, your total score. 11-11 in this period. 3:09 to play. Shepard Got a little bit of a screen to get away from Godfrey, but threw it away to Blunt. Blunt around Shepard. 3-on-3. Blunt goes up with it strong. Tried to bank it in, no good. Godfrey fought for the rebound, but it came down to Chadwell. Chadwell goes inside for the bounce pass from Shepard for the easy deuce. They've got some complementary pieces, do the Jaguars. Richardson faked the foul line jumper, throws it to Godfrey, almost throws it away. Godfrey gets it blocked. It will stay with the Hawks. Clock stops at 2:29 in the third period. Richardson to inbound to Marino. Finds Blunt. Blunt to Richardson. Richardson driving the baseline again. That floater won't go this time. Rebound to Shepard. Shepard, length of the court, kicks it to the corner, and guess what? And guess who? Rawlings again, his third of the night. Just about the same spot on the court. The drive in one for Dawson in reply. Trey has 22. And it's just a smooth as silk 22, as you would expect.
That's really what you want. They scored on this end, and we were back pushing the ball back down the floor before they could set the defense.
Saw that happen a couple of times in the other direction in the
Yes.
first half, so it's a nice adjustment. Dawson trying to complete the three-point play. 23 points on the evening, and we have 2:07 to play in the third quarter. Timeout on the floor. Your total score, 48 to, no. 48 to 38. I had to think about it for a minute. Do the math.
Math is hard.
Math
Yeah.
is hard. I had to remember what they had at the half. See, I don't understand why coaches do it. I'm just, as a fan, I hate the resetting of the thing after
Yes.
quarters.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. I want to know who won and who lost. I know they want to replicate game situations and don't have kids looking at the scoreboard. That's all good. No, I was going to say.
Is it a rule?
And I knew the score was off because they just put two up there.
Yeah.
It is I don't know. Is it a rule?
I don't know. I was thinking that it was, that you had to
That was
reset
why I
it.
got caught off guard, because I knew they didn't have as many points as I thought they did. It's 48 to 40. Anyway, that's what they do for a lot of these exhibitions, if not all of them.
Want to give a shout out to one of my buddies who is refereeing this game.
You always know the refs.
I don't know what that says about me. My buddy Jimmy, he referees basketball, he referees volleyball. You'll see him everywhere, and he has an incredibly positive quality for a coach to one in a referee. He is deaf.
Is that this guy right
Yeah,
there? I've seen him in
across the way.
volleyball. Yep.
He is deaf, so you can yell all you want, and he doesn't care. As long as you do not demonstratively yell, it's
as long
good
as you're
to
not
go.
jumping up and down.
George-
Shepard with an open three, leaves it short. Rebound Dawson.
He's a Georgetown College alum. Great guy. Played football at Georgetown. Good
Richardson,
friend.
the kick out
Yes.
for three from Godfrey.
Oh, but there's a run out. Shoot.
Gage has
Hey.
8, but just like that, getting down the court, Davidson.
Good to see Gage get a three ball to go down. And I do agree that sometimes you get a couple of two balls to go down, and next thing you know, you're just more comfortable. So good for him.
Tried another one and missed it.
Well,
Godfrey reaches over the top.
That was a little heat check right there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the
He
quality of that
He
shot.
has been warm, but not that warm. That was deep. Marino will check back into the game. Sitting down is Godfrey. 18-17 in this period. It's a 7-point spread for the night.
Great crossing jumping into the 1-3-1 half court. This is the first time we've seen it tonight. They're long enough they could give people some problems with this defense.
Another three-point attempt short by the Jags. Rebound Marino. Dawson up quickly to Blunt. Blunt to Martin in the corner. Finds an open Blunt. Swish. DJ Blunt, been notable for his defense in this one, but gets his first three of the night to give the Warhawks the lead here in the third with a minute to go. Backdoor, too strong on the layup attempt for Davidson. Blunt rebound. Dawson with it. 23 points on the night. He will take it back from Martin, guarded by Shepard. Guarded by Davidson, excuse me. I did it again. In and out for Dawson, but the strong rebound on the backside. Richardson can't get the second try to fall. Comes down to Davidson. 30 seconds. Anticipating the pass to the corner. This time was Dawson on the intercept. Ahead to Blunt, all alone, lays it up and in. Warhawks within 2 overall. They are about to win their second consecutive quarter in this one. Step back 3. Shepard in and out. He lost Blunt, but he missed the shot. Marino came down with the board. Dawson, 5 seconds, 4, 3. Dribbles behind his back. He'll take a 3. Why not? Back rim, no good. And that will do it for the third period. But another good one for the Hawks as they close it up. 50-48 overall. And they've won the second and third periods consecutively.
Really good to see Vince Dawson playing on both ends that time. Some great anticipation to get some steals, toughness to get some rebounds, and then his offense right now is really flowing. But defensively, he's looking really good. Nice of him. Nice to see him anticipating passing lanes, jumping out there where he can cause some havoc for the opponent.
So the bounce back continues from the Warhawks. They were down 12 out of the gate. They lost the first quarter 20-8. They have closed it up with wins here in the second, third.
North Laurel jumped back into that 2-2-1 for a little bit in this third quarter, and it didn't have nearly the effect that it did in the beginning of the game. We looked confident getting the ball to the basket, and I thought that our jumping into the 1-3-1 even put them back on their heels, a little bit unsure about how they wanted to attack it. I tell you what, Cal, we've got a great crowd here. For a scrimmage for preseason, this is a great crowd.
James was asking me about the crowd. I said they'll probably fill one side and have a few on the second side. That's about the number that it is, but they're spread out enough that it's very impressive. You're right. It is a regular season crowd. Yes. You won't see any more than this for some district games. Anytime you get a chance to see a player of Shepard's caliber at this level before he moves on, you're going to take advantage of it if you're a basketball fan, no matter what your allegiances are. There's probably some people wearing Scott County red in the crowd tonight. In fact, getting a look at Mr. Shepard. Dawson, kick to Richardson. Richardson will drive and float, and it's good. Warhawks +2 in this period, and that evens it up for the totals on the night. Shepard guarded by Blunt. Blunt sticks his hand in there, knocks it away. Shepard retrieves it just shy of the timeline. Drive, floater. Shepard can't get it to go down. He's starting to force some shots. Richardson with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Martin. Drop off to Dawson. Dawson with a strong take. Warhawks have carved it up here in the second half. Slapping the floor is DJ Blunt. And that'll get a reaction from the bench. We'll stand up in kind and cheer. However this turns out, Warhawks have stood tall against another of the best teams in the state. They've proven that they're one as well. Shepard guarded by Blunt, not letting him get out of his sight. The drive and the dish, the miss, the rebound from Marino. Knocked away though. Shepard made the steal, and he will direct traffic. Dish, another dish, and an easy layup. Brody Brock, haven't heard from him in the second half till now, but he gets North Laurel on the board, and Richardson almost travels. Page will get a timeout with 6:25 remaining.
DJ was asking for a sub. He played some seriously hard defense on Reed for an extended period of time in 2 possessions and asked for a sub out. And Steve, I think, just decided to call a timeout instead, wants to keep him in the game. They're fired up there on the bench. I think Steve really wants them to sustain the level of toughness, not just to be a quick one and done, 2 possessions and over kind of a thing, but to be able to sustain it for a longer period of time.
It has been impressive, the energy He's switched guys. He's had mostly Godfrey and Blunt on Shepard. They've made life pretty difficult for him. He's had to dish, and Jaguars have left some points on the table here in the second half as they've short-armed some layups off those passes from Shepard that have cost him some assists and cost them a chance to create a margin in this one.
The Malachi factor.
It is. Even when he's not there, you think he might be.
Yeah. And you rush. You feel like you got to get it off quick if he's across the lane because he might catch up.
And you've had that planted in your head, I'm sure, yesterday at practice. That was probably discussed as, hey, you can't mess around and waste time. Dawson inbounded. He has 25 points on the night. He'll find Burrell here. Scoreboard. Hope they get that fixed before the season. It keeps going in and out. I don't know if that's a short circuit or a wire or a cord or what. Dawson.
Nice take.
Say no more. 27 points.
I mean, that was strong. They could have called a foul any time at any point on that drive, but he just played through it and got to the other side of the rim.
Heck of a night for the 7th best player in the 11th region, folks.
Sarcasm by Cal. That's nice.
Hashtag sarcasm. I understand wanting to spread these things around, and that's how these things work, but please. Floater from the right elbow and one for Shepard. He tries to will his team back here. Reed's got 10 this half. Higher volume of shots after only taking 2 before intermission. Godfrey will check in for Martin.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Coach Valentine told him at halftime he wanted him to be more aggressive because it was a different mentality the second half than the first half where he was just setting everybody else up.
Shepard makes the free throw. 6-5 Warhawks here in the 4th period. Janias Burrell, screen from Richardson. Can't get it to go in, but Marino there for the follow.
Yeah, Marino and Godfrey right there for that cleanup, just in case.
6'11 and 6'7. They're going to get a lot of those. The steps as he picked up his pivot foot. Went for the head fake and the ball fake both and moved the foot. Warhawk ball, an 8-5 lead, trying to win 3 of the 4 quarters tonight. They're up by 1 if you add up all the tallies. But regardless, these are 2 teams that are going to be heard from throughout the season in their respective regions. Burrell, same as last time, goes over toward that right baseline, stops and floats it from 15. He's got 4 points on the night. Not a huge offensive night for Burrell, but he has distributed the ball nicely.
Yeah, and really played within himself. There have been nights when he tried to force things. That's not the way he's playing tonight. Really nice facilitator, playing good defense, hustling.
Godfrey comes up to try to body Davidson. Davidson drives past him and drives to the hoop and gets fouled. We'll get it on Dawson, I believe. Nope, Richardson. He held up 2 ones. I thought he held up 1. Oh, I was right. It's Dawson. Steve Maynard got it wrong. I'm right for once. In and out. Nope. Rolls it back in. So Davidson rather. We'll get another. His team trailing 10-6 in this one. Makes them both. (10-7) Warhawks, 4th quarter. After the reset, 4:45 to play. They won the 2nd. They won the 3rd. Kind of got hot at the end of both of those periods. They started out hot in this one. Burrell's had the hot hand lately. He will step back on the line and leave it short. Chases his own rebound, but Shepard gets it. Shepard Driving past Godfrey, throws it away. 3-on-2 are the Warhawks. Dawson takes it himself. Why not? 29 points for Vince Dawson the third. Timeout on the floor. 4:15 to go. 60-57 Warhawks if you're adding it up, and I am.
That's a really patient, he exploded to the basket, but then when he got to the lane, patience on that drive to do the Euro step and let that guy fly on past him so he could have the open lane. Vince Dawson is really dominating tonight. Fun to watch. The Jags went back to that 2-2-1 again, but they've never turned it into the trapping part of the 2-2-1. It's still just a slow you down kind of a press. And I don't know that Nate Valentine has the depth to be able to turn it into a heated trap you press.
No, I think you're right about that.
He's buying some time for his big 25 Gavin Shadwell over there on the bench. I think he's just buying a little time, but
yeah, he's coming into a program where he's probably going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. And North Laurel is going to play at a little different speed, a little different intensity with a guy like Shepard on the roster. Shepard guarded by Godfrey, speaking of intensity. Jeremiah has shared the load with DJ Blunt there. Shepard for a three. Godfrey came over late, but Shepard drained it. 12-10 in the fourth. Tied up for the night. Dawson around Shepard. Around Davidson. Leaves it short. Rebound. Comes down to North Laurel and Shepard, and fouled by Marino on the way by in the backcourt. 3:32 to play here in the varsity exhibition.
Coach Page goes back to the 1-3-1 here. See if they can throw him off again. No.
Shepard drives it, almost jamming it as Davidson couldn't quite get up, but the end result is the same. Shepard with the dime, and this quarter is tied up. Richardson almost, that is a backcourt as he got that ball to Dawson a little bit too early. Unforced error there. And if this were a game that was coming down to the wire with total points, that'd be a tough one to swallow. As it is, this quarter is tied up. Warhawks trying to make it 3 out of 4 on the night.
Nice
Shepard,
play.
dangerous pass, knocked away by Burrell into the hands of Godfrey, but Godfrey lost it to Davidson. Back come the Jaguars. Davidson stops, leaves it off the glass. Rebound strong for North Laurel. Second chance for Davidson off a beautiful dish from Chase Keene. The Jaguars have gone in front here in the fourth. Burrell lobs it into Marino. Marino guarded by Keene. Finds Richardson for three. Left it way off, but Marino there. They're going to get him for a push in the back. So some empty possessions here for the Warhawks late. Blunt will check in for Burrell. So you've got the lineup of Blunt, Godfrey, Richardson, Dawson, and Marino on the court for the Warhawks with 2:20 to play. Shepard into traffic, kicks it out for a three-point attempt. That's no good, but tips it back up and in. These special folks, more than just a shooter. He dishes, he rebounds, has a nose for the ball. Richardson, step back. Now he'll drive it to the left baseline. The floater, can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line. Clock stops at 1:45.
Gage has stayed aggressive, that's for sure. He's stayed aggressive all night.
$24 points for Reed Shepard as well.
And you say that, I feel like Godfrey and Blunt have done a nice job on him.
Gosh, yes,
I mean, he's had to earn them.
Yeah, they have not come easily, and he forced the issue there for a while, especially in the third quarter, but he's finding other ways to score. As Richardson makes both free throws, he has had a nice half here with 12 after getting shut out in the first half. 16-14 Jags, 1:38 to play here in the fourth quarter. As again, they reset after each period. Shepard, a little hesitation dribble and a drive. He'll draw the contact and go to the line as he lost Blunt. That first step toward the basket is just so quick from Mr. Shepard.
And his handles are solid. And I think he's only had it taken from him once tonight. That was when he was getting double teamed. And he's handled the ball quite a bit of the time.
He'll make the first and get another. 91 seconds to play. He's good at the line, too. I think he's only missed once tonight. 5 for 6. North Laurel, a little bit of an advantage here in the fourth quarter and overall. They ramped up their defense a little bit after a lull, did the Jaguars. A couple of those errors have been unforced for the Warhawks. Blunt finds Richardson. Richardson fakes the three, now goes left elbow extended, leaves it off the rim for Marino. Put back for Malley. He has 9 on the night.
They've had a tough time getting him the ball in the offense. Most of his touches
Had to
have
get
come
it all
off
in
offensive
second.
rebounds. Yeah.
Shepard for 3. Fall away, no good. Rebound strong for Davidson. He will dribble it back out and play it as if it's the end of the game, which it is. Blunt. Shepard loses him again. Marino tries to make the swat. Shepard's just too good. 12 in this fourth quarter to clinch it for the Jaguars, it would seem. Gage will drive and go to the line one more time.
Fouls on number 30, Davidson. That's his second. Richardson at the line, shooting 2.
Gage Richardson, big second half. A couple of short range shots got him into the flow. He's hit 4 from the line as well. 13 points on the night. That put him second behind Trey's 29. Makes them both. 20-18 in this period. 70-66 overall in favor of North Laurel. Periods will be an even split if North Laurel can hang on here. There's a steal by Martin up ahead to Dawson. Gets blocked. They're going to say it was on the line. North Laurel, Shepard had it along the baseline. Clock will stop and the Warhawks will get an OB under with 13.4 seconds to go.
That's the highest I've seen Reed jump. He got up that time, just waited.
Steve Page will call a timeout as they will play this situationally. This is a situation where we've seen Christian Martin on a few occasions do some things. Also, clearly Vince Dawson the third time, as he's had a couple of game winners under his belt last year. Marino will check back in.
Coach Page has the dry erase board out, so this is going to be interesting to see what he draws up here. He's got some weapons, like you said. You mentioned those two. They've run Gage off of a couple screens lately on their out of bounds play and got him a look if they're wanting to go for the win. Yeah, I'm going to bet he screens up for Malachi and Vince screens in for him, and then Vince slips to the rim. See what happens. Screen up, screen in.
Blunt
yeah.
to Richardson. Dawson Time ticking away. Richardson deep three, no good. Godfrey chasing the rebound. Dawson will get it back.
Ooh.
Three-pointer, rebound Marino.
Oh.
That's blocked. Davidson will get called for the foul, and Marino will go to the line.
I thought they could have called a foul on the 3 attempt, the second one. This is a good position for Malachi to be in, though. A little pressure on the free throws. Let's see what he does with that flip of the wrist.
Richardson and Dawson each tried for a quarter-winning three. Marino short-armed the first free throw. Now, if they're playing it like the end of the game, he'll have to intentionally miss the second.
Mm-hmm.
He won't do that. He'll make it. He'll play defense instead. And time will run out. Your final score when all is added up, North Laurel 70, Great Crossing 67, each with 2 quarter wins. And each will be a force to be reckoned with in their region this season.
You got to think that this is exactly what both coaches wanted out of tonight. Challenges, different looks on defense, different looks on offense, an intensity level that had to be matched. Both teams, I thought, stepped up to the bill on that. There was a lot of hustle plays going on in that game, and I think both coaches are going to be able to go back to the film room and prepare for the real season in a way that they wouldn't be if they just scrimmaged somebody down the street. This is a great thing for both coaches, and I know that they're pleased with how the game turned out.
Reed Shepard, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 block shots, and a partridge in a pear tree.
That's a line.
Ryan Davidson, 16 points and 9 boards, 4 steals. Brody Brock, 11 points. He was 4 for 4 from 2, hit a 3-pointer as well. That was the bulk of the offense. Colton Rawlings had 3 3-pointers for 9 for North Laurel, and Gavin Chatwell with 6 points. 29 game high for Trey Dawson. Vince Dawson III, 12 for 23 from the field. He hit 3 from 3-point range, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists. Gage Richardson, 14 points, 7 rebounds. All the points came in the second half. Malachi Marino, double-double, 10 points, 11 boards, 5 block shots. Jeremiah Godfrey and DJ Blunt, phenomenal on the defensive end. Any final thoughts, Keith? It was a good one. It was as advertised.
I just think it's encouraging, to see the guys and the way they've matured just since last year up to this pre-season scrimmage. The strength, the level of intensity, it's great to see. I'm looking forward to a great season.
We saw 2 great teams. We hope you enjoyed it, whether you're watching or listening. For Keith Greiser, for James Scoggin, for Mike Scoggin, for DT Wells, I'm merely Cal Oaks saying good night, God bless. Your final score, 70-67, North Laurel over Great Crossing. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.